Okay, so I feel like we need to give more attention to attention-seeking behaviors. And I say that, yes, because some people's skin are crawling right now, being like, behaviors don't exist just solely to obtain attention, Alicia. There's some other underlying need that our learner is missing. Yes, attention. We all need it at some point, but in order to understand attention-seeking behaviors, I think we need to understand clearly what they are and what they are not. Attention-seeking behaviors are not those behaviors that present themselves because our learner is missing some sort of communication piece, or because our learner was told no, or they were denied something preferred. These are those behaviors that look like our learner is on stage. They look like those behaviors that we want to sit there and be like, why are you doing this right now? Our learners might appear like they're acting out, or they might have those excessive displays of emotions, or when they're continually seeking our praise. Now, these behaviors are often triggered when our learner is tired, they're bored, understimulated, or under-challenged. When our learner needs our attention to get through something, right? So now that we know what they look like and what they don't look like, let's talk about how to manage them. Honestly, it's going to sound pretty simple and actually kind of taboo, but you're going to ignore the negative attempts to get my attention, not the learner, and replace them with positive ways to alternatively get my attention that achieves that same goal, attention, by teaching, praising, practicing. Now, it can be done pretty seamlessly. So let's look at an example that often happens for me. I am a mom of 4. My house is loud, and when we invite other people over or I go into another environment, my learners are now competing with not only their siblings, but other adults or other activities. Maybe I'm even doing dishes. It doesn't even have to be other learners, okay? So my learners will either start to become louder than anyone else. They'll start running into me, pulling on me, laughing, giggling. They're not being assholes. They're just trying to be seen. So instead of getting annoyed, I try to redirect. I say, hey, you know what? I want to show you something in the other room. Come here, come with me. I am now providing that one-on-one attention that they were originally trying to get from me, okay? So I'm immediately going to see, this is what's missing. Let me go give it to you. But I'm giving it to you because I am now resetting the scene. I am getting you from a dysregulated state to a regulated state, okay? And I'm going to be honest, I don't do the whole, I see that you need my attention kind of thing. And I'm going to create another video and we can talk a little bit more in depth as to how and why I do that. But let's go back to the current situation that I have now provided my learner with that one-on-one attention. Now I'm going to take them back to the original situation, whether it's with my other kids in the room, or I'm going to be re-engaging an adult, or I'm going to be re-engaging the dishes. Okay. Now I'm going to reset. I'm in that situation. Now I'm going to intentionally bring my attention down to my learner. Oh, hey, I really like that Lego that you're playing with, or oh my gosh, you're doing a great coloring. Something that they're doing and that they're engaging in or that they're playing with, I'm bringing my attention to them. I am teaching them how to get my attention appropriately in this situation and not have to run into me, right? So then I say, oh, that was so great. I loved that you showed me that Lego. Now I'm praising you for appropriately getting my attention. Now, why are we talking about appropriately getting my attention? Because attention-seeking behaviors should not be squashed. It's not the kind of thing to where it's like, that attention-seeking behavior is not something that I want to see again. Now we need to squash that behavior. No, because attention-seeking behaviors can actually, sorry, I'm like also trying to do multiple things in my closet right now. Okay, reset the stage for myself. Okay, so attention-seeking behaviors are positive for communication skills in terms of initiating that communication. They increase our learners' self-esteem as long as the feedback from the environment is positive. Now, we also know that there's glaring negative impacts of attention-seeking behaviors, such things as interfering with learning, as well as maybe having some social challenges if they cannot register those social cues of when to stop a particular behavior. It's very common for all learners of all ages to exhibit attention-seeking behaviors at some point in life. It's when these behaviors become persistent or worsen or interfere with our learners' learning and social interactions. That's when we have to give those attention-seeking behaviors our attention and modify them and help them become more positive. Now remember, behaviors exist to get attention, but we have to be picky on which behavior that we want to give attention to, because that is the behavior that we are reinforcing, and we want that behavior to be beneficial for our learner in terms of initiating those conversations. Now, that's going to be a wrap for me. I feel like I'm all over the place. And why do we call it Closet Chronicles and I'm not revamping my closet? It's because, well, I am a mom of four. I am the proverbial mom of four. And this is my space. I'm even trying to multitask while I'm like in here. That's why my eyes are like constantly darting over here. And I just wanted to welcome you to my space. This is my closet.